4 things I like about the Rogue TB-2 trap bar are the fully knurled handles. You can flip it over to increase your range of motion. The loading sleeves are 16 inches long, which is what you'll find on the majority of barbells. And it's also rackable, which is gonna add to its versatility. I've been using this trap bar for quite a while, so today I'm gonna break down all my findings for you guys. What's up everybody, it's Jake, back in the BarBend garage gym with another review, locked and loaded, ready to go for y'all. This time it's the Rogue TB-2 trap bar. In this video, I'm gonna take you through everything you need to know about this trap bar, from the price and the features, some pros and cons that I've experienced, and of course, who should or maybe should not add this to their home gym. But before I get going, I have to let you know, we've reviewed a lot of trap bars on BarBend.com. If you want to browse our best list, just go ahead and search BarBend best trap bars, and you can find out for yourself which ones that we like the best. Okay, so what do I like about the TB-2 trap bar? Well, I really like the knurling on these handles. It gives me a sticky tack-like grip. It's gonna be really nice as you go to load up for some super heavy deadlifts. This is also a really good option for any beginners out there, also people who are rehabbing from an injury, because if you use these raised handles right here, it's gonna decrease your range of motion and allow you to properly learn how to deadlift, which will really come into effect as you start throwing on some heavy weight and you make sure that your form is exactly how it needs to be. But as you get the hang of it, as you start feeling good about everything, you can also flip this trap bar over, use these handles down here, and that's gonna increase your range of motion. A lot of people deadlift with barbells, but I personally think that a trap bar is the superior choice. Your body's aligned more naturally with these handles and your shoulders. And a lot of issues people run into with trap bars though, is that the loading sleeves are shorter than what they are on a barbell. Well, that's not the case here. These loading sleeves are 16 inches long, which is pretty much what you're gonna find on a barbell, give or take half an inch or so. And plus, this is a rackable trap bar, which is pretty unique. It's gonna add to its versatility. You can use this thing for shoulder presses, maybe even a bench press if you want to with a power rack. Okay, so there really aren't too many issues with the TB-2, but there's still a couple things that I definitely should mention. So I personally like the knurling right here, as I said, but it is pretty abrasive. It might be too abrasive for some people. I personally think that's a good thing. As you're loading up some heavy weight for a deadlift, you obviously want to be able to hang on to this bar, and that's going to allow you to do so. But once again, could be too abrasive, could tear up some people's hands. So keep that in mind. As you're changing your weight plates, you might notice that some of the paint, wears off on the loading sleeves. I've read some reviews about that online. This has a powder coat finish. I personally have not experienced that yet, but definitely could happen, so you also want to keep that in mind. Another thing here, though, this is probably the biggest issue, is that these loading sleeves are not compatible with every single weight collar, bumper plate, weight plate out there. So my weight collars simply just slide off. They don't really clamp onto the bar, so you might want to keep that in mind. You're most likely going to have to go out and get some Rogue, specific plates and weight collars that are compatible with this trap bar. The handles are 25 inches apart on the top and the bottom. I personally think that's fine. I think the majority of people are gonna be able to lift with this, no problem. But if you are a little bit smaller, you could run into the issue that these are a little bit, too spaced out for you. In that case, I don't really know a good solution for you. It might just be something you have to work around. So definitely want to keep that in mind as well. And once you tack on shipping and taxes, this is gonna cost you right around $500. And at the end of the day, it's a trap bar. Yeah, this one's pretty versatile. It is rackable. You can technically do some bench presses and shoulder presses with it. But what's more versatile than a trap bar? A barbell, and you can definitely get one for $500, even less. So definitely keep that in mind as well too. Okay, so in terms of pricing, the TB-2 is listed around 400 bucks, but once you tack on shipping and taxes, you're gonna be looking at spending over $500 on this trap bar. I know that's kind of expensive, but remember, it is coming from Rogue. Obviously, they're known for their high quality products. That's no exception here. And once you get this thing in your hands, you can definitely tell you're getting that high quality. So, if you're somebody out there looking for a specialty bar, you're really wanting to, focus on your deadlifts the proper way, I think this could be worth the money. Okay, so let's talk about the build now with the TB-2 and some of the features that you'll find. So starting with the handles, these are 1.3 inches in diameter. The top handle is not fully knurled, but the bottom one is, which is really cool in my opinion. You can kind of grab it really wherever you want, as long as it's not gonna, teeter-totter on you as you're working out. But that knurling is really nice. It feels really solid in your hands. It's gonna give you a really good grip. And remember, all you have to do to utilize the other handles is just simply flip it over, whichever way you have it, just flip it and you can use the other side. The loading sleeves are 16 inches long and they're 1.9 inches in diameter. And the square steel tubing right here is 1.5 inches in diameter. So this is a really solid build. It's really sturdy. And once again, it's really evident once you get it in your hands. The handles are also 25 inches apart from one another. I think that's a really solid distance for the majority of weightlifters. And from the ground to the top of these raised handles, they're 8.25 inches off the ground. This is a rackable trap bar. I'll show you guys how to do that here in a little bit. And this is 88.5 inches long and it weighs 60 pounds. So you're gonna feel that whenever you pick it up too. You can definitely do some farmer's walks and maybe even some lunges, different things with just the bar. You don't necessarily have to load on weight if you don't want to. Now, in terms of overall weight capacity, I don't really know that number. So I reached out to Rogue and really all they told me was just, load that bad boy up, throw whatever you can at it and it can handle it. Now, I know I personally am not gonna be able to max this trap bar out. A lot of you probably can't either, but there's definitely some of y'all that absolutely can. And first of all, I'm pretty jealous of you. But anyways, since I do not know that exact number, just keep that in mind and be careful. All right, guys, let's do a quick walk around with this trap bar. Let's start with the loading sleeves. As you can see, I do not have a Rogue plate on here right now, and there's a bit of a wobble. Obviously, that's something you don't want to happen. If you were to drop this, you run into the issue, the possibility, should I say, of damaging your weight plates, bumper plates, and that's something you really don't want to happen. Now, let's slide this off, and I don't even have a Rogue weight collar right here. Obviously, you can see this is already clamped shut. All I have to do is just slide right on. So this definitely is not compatible with that 1.9 inch diameter. And there's a little bit of wearing away of the paint right here. This is a powder coat finish. It's not too bad yet, but maybe over time I'll experience that like I've seen online, like I was talking about earlier. Now, if we come further down, you will see this is that 1.5 inch square steel tubing, super sturdy in my hands. I know it's welded together, but it really doesn't feel like that. It feels like one solid piece of steel, which obviously is a very nice touch. I really like these raised handles. Once again, they're 8.25 inches off the ground. This is gonna be really ideal for anybody looking to learn the proper technique when deadlifting. And this is that knurling I was talking about. It's pretty aggressive, it's pretty abrasive, but it feels really good in my hands at the same time. Kind of reminds me of a power bar. And to use these other handles down here, just simply flip the bar over. It's easy done. It's pretty easy to do that. Once again, this is 88.5 inches long and it weighs 60 pounds on its own. And trust me, you will feel that weight when you go to pick it up. You can absolutely implement some exercises with just the weight of this trap bar and be just fine. You'll still get a nice burn in with that workout. Now, don't forget, this is a rackable trap bar. So look, I'm gonna show you how to do that right now. Simply toss that on there and you can flip it over like this and you can rep out some bench presses and even do some shoulder presses if you choose to do so. Okay, so who should purchase the Rogue TB-2 trap bar? Well, I personally think trap bars are the ideal choice when it comes to learning the proper technique when it comes to deadlifting. Specifically this one right here because of the raised handles. So if you are a beginner or maybe you're rehabbing an injury, I think you're really gonna enjoy this because it's gonna decrease the required range of motion that you need. And then, obviously once you get comfortable and get that proper technique, definitely just flip this over and increase that range of motion by utilizing these other handles. So that's pretty cool. And if you're looking for a really versatile trap bar, this is right at the top of the list of versatile trap bars because it's able to be racked into a power rack or a squat rack if you have one. So you can definitely use this for shoulder presses and even a bench press if you want to. I will say though, my opinion, nothing gets it done like good old trusty set of dumbbells or even a barbell. But if you want to do that with this, you absolutely can. And also anybody who's just really wanting to load on a bunch of weight plates on either side, you can definitely do that. A lot of trap bars feature loading sleeves that are around 13 inches long and you kind of run out of room. That's really not the case here. These are 16 inches long, very comparable to a barbell. So yeah, you can definitely pack on those weight plates. Who might not want to purchase the TB-2? Well, it's expensive, right? Not everybody's gonna want to spend $500 on a trap bar because at the end of the day, it's a trap bar. Yeah, this one's pretty versatile, but so is a barbell. Like I said, you can get one of those for the same price, actually maybe even cheaper. So this really is geared towards somebody who's looking for a specialty bar and really wants to focus on their deadlifts. The loading sleeves are not gonna be compatible with every single weight collar and weight plate out there. So if you don't have any Rogue equipment already, you either need to invest in some or probably just look elsewhere for a different trap bar. So you might want to keep that in mind as well. And the handles, once again, these are 25 inches apart. The majority of people should be able to work out with this just fine, but obviously there's people of smaller stature who are gonna want something that is closer together, and you might be able to find that elsewhere online, but obviously that's not the case here. Well, that's all she wrote for the Rogue TB-2 trap bar. I personally love this thing. I love working out with it. It's really versatile. I can throw it on my power rack and really rep out some shoulder presses and even bench presses if I really want to. This is a great option for beginners and anyone rehabbing an injury to learn the proper technique of a deadlift. You're naturally aligned with your body and the handles, which is a really nice touch, but since these are elevated, it's gonna decrease your range of motion, so you can absolutely learn that proper technique. It's also gonna decrease the amount of stress on your lower back, which is a really nice touch. But once again, to increase your range of motion, all you gotta do is flip this bad boy over and that's it. You can increase it in a matter of seconds, which is really cool. Now, remember, the knurling here is pretty abrasive, which might not be ideal for everybody. And these handles are 25 inches apart, which once again, might not be ideal for every single person out there wanting to use this. The loading sleeves are likely not compatible with your equipment you have at home, unless you have Rogue equipment already, weight collars, weight plates, bumper plates, whatever. If you don't though, you're gonna definitely have to invest because the stuff I have doesn't really fit with this. So it could be a bit of an issue for a lot of people. At the end of the day though, this is a solid piece of equipment. I really think it could be a really nice addition for anybody who has a more advanced home gym. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope this video was really helpful and I was able to answer any questions you might have about the TB-2. As always, stay on the lookout for my next review, but for now, head over to BarBend.com and you can read more about this trap bar. Just search BarBend Rogue TB-2 trap bar review and you'll find all the details that we talked about here today. I'll see y'all next time.